The Clippers' title hopes ended last night, and the finals drought now extends to 51 years. Remember when we started the playoffs? Remember this. It was a while ago, but the Lakers, they had dreams of defending their title. The Nets, they were healthy. They were primed for a run. And the Jazz and the Sixers, they were both #1 seeds in their conferences. But, gentlemen, times have certainly changed. Freddie, who had the most disappointing playoff run?
It's not Key's Lakers. It's the Philadelphia 76ers, because I go back to Game 4 and Game 5. You have an 18-point lead in Game 4, and you don't put a team away. Then you have a 26-point lead in Game 5 at home, and you don't put away the Atlanta Hawks. That is disappointing to the 25th power right there, especially when this was the best chance, in my opinion, for the Philadelphia 76ers to do something they have not done since 1983, and that is win a world championship. I know a lot of blame was placed at the feet of Ben Simmons, and rightfully so, for going 0 for the fourth quarter. But you had an 18-point lead in one game, and you let the Hawks get away. You had a 26-point lead at home in another game, and you let the Hawks get away. That's the Philadelphia 76ers being the most disappointing team in the playoffs based on those two games that they let get away against the Atlanta Hawks.
Here's my most disappointing team, and it's not because I'm a Laker. It's because it's the LA Clippers. And when you think about it, here's a team that went out 2 years ago and got two of the top players in the NBA. A year later, they fired their head coach in Doc Rivers because they just felt he couldn't get them over the hump. Steve Ballmer would pay any amount of money to get a trophy. Kawhi Leonard gets hurt. They don't necessarily fall apart because Paul George keeps them there, but they didn't come into the season not thinking that they wouldn't meet the Lakers in the Western Conference Final. Everything that they did to put this team together 2 years ago. They even got to the point where their owner of the team purchased the Great Western Farm, which since been named Madison Square Garden West, to build his arena around there and not be blocked, because he felt that the Clippers deserved to have their own arena. Everything that went in to trying to win a championship, he gave power to two of his star players to help make a decision to get rid of a coach. Ty Lue came in. Ty Lue's job has been extremely hard, but it's been good because he's been able to get the LeBron James monkey off his back that LeBron carried him. He's been able to make adjustments, do all of those things despite not having his star player in Kawhi Leonard. But yet and still, you didn't deliver as was promised 2 years ago. Second time. Last year, 3-1 lead, sent home. This year, sent home by the Phoenix Suns, partly due to injury, but also because you couldn't get out of your own way. That's why they're the most disappointing to me.
Well, let's talk about a team that is still in place to potentially make the finals. Giannis doubtful for tonight after an MRI showed he hyperextended his left knee in the Bucks' Game 4 loss to the Hawks. Series tied at 2. Key, if Giannis does not go tonight, who fills his void?
Oh, I don't know that you can fill that void. Who are you going to get that 30-10 from, night in and night out? Now, Giannis isn't the closer for them. It's been Chris Middleton for the most part. But I think when you missing that 3.5 quarters of Giannis, that defensive presence, those sort of things, that power in the paint, Brook Lopez, I don't know, is that going to be enough? I don't think so. And so it's going to be tough for him. If he somehow can't go or can't play the rest of this series, it's going to be Atlanta and the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals.
I had Atlanta winning the series in 6 games, even before Giannis had the injury. But for me, it has to be Chris Middleton. But to be honest with you, it has to be Mike Budenholzer. And I know he's not a player, but that has to be the guy, because if you're Mike Budenholzer, this is what you've wanted, to get a chance to show everybody you can get a team in the NBA Finals. And now you're really going to have to show your coaching ability to make sure you can have this team rally around the fact that Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I don't believe we're going to see the rest of this series, and if they get to the NBA Finals, who knows we're going to see him again. When you have doubt on the knee injury, that places too much doubt in my mind. So, Keyshawn, you're right to a point. There isn't anybody that can fill it, but it has to start with the head coach. I know Chris Middleton's going to play terrific, but Mike Budenholzer, you got to do to the Hawks what they did to your team in Game 4, and that is rally the troops around and make that work. And I still wonder if he can actually do that.
You're that certain that Chris Middleton's going to have a great game, because he's been very up and down?
Well, remember, this guy closed out Miami in Game 1 of that series. He's their closer, and he outscored the Atlanta Hawks by himself in Game 3 and a quarter. So I know he can do it. If anybody has the ability, Charlie and Key, to do that, it is Chris Middleton. But it also depends on what his coach is going to be able to do. And that's why I put more of that pressure on Mike Budenholzer, filling that void more than Chris Middleton.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.